Yes. What's going on? Listen, I'm going to show you how to build a simple strategy from scratch, okay? Just in case you want to build a strategy from scratch, I'm going to show you guys a simple way because going the simple route is the best thing, in my opinion, when it comes to trading. Because when you overcomplicate things, it's like when you're about to take a trade, you ask yourself a million questions before you take that trade. Like, oh my gosh, that's, is it turn right? Is it this? Is it that? Like, you have 20 different questions you are asking yourself. That's why having a very simple plan, straight to the point, is much better when it comes to trading. And I'm also going to show you guys trades I took recently, me making $5,000 trading the 5-minute chart. So let's build our strategy from scratch. Number one, you're going to need a market to trade. What market are you going to trade? Okay. Are you going to trade Forex, futures, stocks? There's no such thing as best, because I know some of you guys are going to ask me, hey man, what's the best? There's no such thing. Okay. Me personally, I like futures because you can start with a small amount and you still have leverage. The other ones, Forex, you can actually definitely have leverage, but if you live in the US, we all know that Forex brokers don't really give you that much leverage, okay? Now, when it comes to stocks, yes, you can have leverage, but guess what? You have to get rid of the PDT rule, okay? You might have some leverage with options, but to me, we're talking about something simple. Trading options might be, it's not hard, but it's not on the simple side, in my opinion, okay? So the next best thing would be, if you're trading stocks, would be, trading a cash account, but you don't have that much leverage. Now you can go to the futures market and you can actually get leverage, and you can use that leverage to help you build up your account. Me personally, I would try to start with futures. I trade the NASDAQ, the indices, so you can go from there, okay? So futures. Now the second thing when we're building our simple strategy is, how many markets do we want to trade? Well, you can start with trading one market and be done. Or if you want to add a little bit more, maybe 2 or 3, and we go from there, okay? The only reason why I said maybe 2 or 3, because just in case your market doesn't give you, a nice clean setup today, maybe you can look at some other markets. But honestly, just starting off with one market is more than enough. Now, the next thing we need in order to build our simple strategy is, what session do we want to trade? Do you want to trade the morning session? Do we want to trade the afternoon, okay? Or the late hours? So me personally, I trade a morning session. To me, 9:30 until, I would say, 12 p.m. Eastern time is good enough, okay? Afternoon, around 12:30 to 1:30, 2 o'clock p.m. And this is Eastern time. And then, late hours, around 2 o'clock all the way to 4 o'clock p.m. Now, you shouldn't be trading all those hours. Again, we're going to keep it as simple as possible. The morning has the most volume for the most part, a lot of times. So it's best to only focus on the morning session. Now, what time frame should we trade? Okay. Well, in my opinion, the 5-minute chart is good enough. Okay. You can only use the 5-minute chart. Again, we're keeping it as simple as possible. Yes, you can look at other time frames if you want to, like, maybe the 4-hour or the 1 hour, to give you a bigger view if you want to, if that helps you with your trading. But believe it or not, me personally, I only look at the 5-minute chart. I try to keep things as simple as possible. Sometimes I might glance at the daily chart because I want to see the overall picture. But to be honest with you, there will be weeks where I don't even look at the higher time frame and I'm only focused on the 5-minute chart. But sometimes I might browse at the daily chart or maybe the 1 hour. But the 5-minute chart will give you everything you need, believe it or not. Now, the next thing we need to do in order to build our simple system is we need to understand market structure, okay? We need to understand, what is the market doing today? What direction is the market going? Okay, is it going up? Is it going down? Is it chopping today? Okay, we have to understand this, because if we don't, it's going to be very hard for us to actually make money consistently. Because if you are going against the trend or going against, the short-term trend, you can lose a lot of money that way. So we want to consistently make money. So we have to understand the structure of the market. So make sure we have that in place before we create our system. Now, next thing is, we have to know when not to trade. A lot of people will build systems, but they will not have this a part of their system, okay? All they will think about is, I got to trade, I got to trade, I got to trade. No, a lot of times you don't have to trade every single day. So knowing when not to trade is a good thing, and it should be a part of your system. So let me show you a good example. All right, guys. So you see how choppy this is right here? The market's not really doing anything. We can say, you know what? When I see a day like this, I don't want to trade it because it's not really going anywhere. It's tight, it's choppy. I want to see the market move. So right here, finally the market breaks out of this, right? And then it gives us some great opportunities to take trades right here because now the market is moving. So this is a great example of knowing when not to trade. A lot of people just only want to trade, but you have to have days where you say, you know what, I'm gonna sit out. If it's not showing me a clear picture, let me sit out. So make sure that's part of your simple trading system. Now, the next thing you need to know is how many trades do we want to take a day? Okay. Again, we're going to keep it simple. So no more than 2 to 3 trades a day. Okay. It's best to only take one trade, but let's say, you want to take 1 and 2, that's fine. Okay. But you shouldn't take no more than 3 trades, especially if you're a beginner. Try to start with 1 trade and just be done for that day. Okay. Now, if you have a loser, then you can take another trade to get the loser back, but try to stick with 1 trade. If you have 1 winner, boom, done for the day, so we can keep it as simple as possible. Now, the next thing is, what levels do we want to use? Because we have to have levels, okay? So we can use 1 level or we can use 2 levels, okay? We're going to keep it as simple as possible. So support or resistance or supply and demand, okay? We can use both or you can just choose one of them. Only support and resistance or only supply and demand, okay? It's up to you. Now, I use both because sometimes the market doesn't show me a clean supply and demand. So I like to just use both. But again, it's up to you. This is where, having multiple markets come in play because maybe, the market that you're looking at right now is not showing you a good supply and demand, but another market is probably showing you a good supply and demand. This is why, sometimes it's good to look at multiple markets. Now, the next thing is, what entry setups are we going to use? Again, we're going to keep it as simple as possible. We're going to use bullish candlesticks, okay? Or we're going to use maybe a double bottom, okay? If the market is coming at that key level and it gives us a nice double bottom, we're going to use that to get in, right? Or we're going to use maybe a nice little trend line break if it's at a key level, okay, for entries, right? So that is a simple way to get in. We are not trying to have, a lot of ways to get in. There's maybe 1 or 2 or 3 to max, and that's it, okay? So how do we want to exit the market? Okay, we could exit at a simple support or resistance, or we could just have a fixed target. And that's probably the best thing to do because we're trying to keep it as simple as possible. So we can go for a fixed 2 to 1 and just keep it as that. Okay. And if you want later on in your journey to bump it up maybe to 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, then you can do that. But in the beginning, a 1 to 2 is honestly a good sweet spot because most new traders, they can't really hold that long, okay? They're probably not going to hold all the way to 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. They're going to get all nervous and they're going to probably get out before that. So let's keep it as simple as possible. A nice 1 to 2. So that means that if you're risking $100, you're trying to get $200 back, okay? Now, 2 more things to build our simple strategy. We need a daily loss limit. So 3 losers in a row, cut it off. Honestly, you can be even stricter if you want to. Maybe 2 losers in a row. But you can start with 3. But if you want to have 2, then go ahead. So no more than 3 losers in a row. So let's say you're risking $100 a trade and you're down $300 for the day. Cut it off. We're done for the day because we don't want to blow our account in one day. Now, the next thing we want, okay, after we build our simple strategy, okay, is have a journal because the journal is going to help us improve. It's going to help us get better as a trader, okay? So the journal is going to help us look over our winning trades, our losing trades, look over our mistakes, help us grow as a trader, and that's what we need, okay? So let me show you guys some trades and some examples of how this strategy looks. All right, so this is the 5-minute chart, okay? Now, overall, we have the direction. The direction is what? To the upside, okay? We have the bulls is pretty much in control. And what we have here is the market is pretty much at this support level right here. Definitely have support level right here and right here, right? So overall, I'm looking at this and the market basically came to this level right here and I'm looking for a setup. Remember, we're looking for some type of setup. It could be bullish candle, double bottom, trend line break, whatever the case is. Sometimes I like to look at some type of double reaction. So we do have right here 1, 2. Okay, so a nice little double bottom right here, and we could go long. So where do we want to put the stop? We can put our stop below the setup. Okay, so it could be below the setup candle or below, let's say you're taking the trend line break, below the trend line break setup or the double bottom, whatever the case is, it could be below the setup. Now you can make it a little bit wider if you want. You can put below another, support level right here. But right now, below this setup is good enough, in my opinion. And then we're going for a nice little 2 to 1. and boom, and we're looking to take profits right there. So that's our simple strategy. We know what market we want to trade it. This is the NASDAQ, okay? We know the time frame. This is the 5-minute chart. We know the direction. The direction was up. We know the levels, okay? This is a nice support level right here, okay? We know the entry. We're looking for a double bottom or a nice little candle entry or a trend line break. And then we know the exit. We know where to put the stop loss. We know that we want at least a 1 to 2 or whatever. Some days you can get a quick 1 to 1, but for the most part, a 1 to 2. And we know that, okay, if we have 3 losers in a row, we shut it off. Okay, so let me show you guys the trades that I took. All right, so this is the first trade right here that I took. So overall, the market was bullish. So I'm looking at this as a level where the market is bouncing. So right here, I mean, this is obvious right here. Look at the level right here. The market is bouncing off that level. So when bulls came in right here, I got in, and I'm looking for a 2 to 1. Honestly, I'm looking for a 2 to 1. We have a good enough space for this. I went long right here, this bullish bar right here, guys. Okay, this bullish bar right here, and plus we have a nice little trend line break too. Okay, so overall, I'm looking at all this right here. I went long. I'm looking for a 2 to 1, and unfortunately, this one didn't work out. I got stopped out. And you look at the P&L, I'm down 4,400 for this day. It is what it is. You can't win them all, guys. That's how it works, okay? So let me show you guys another trade. All right, so this was the next day. So notice how we have support right here and it broke this support. So the next day, guess what? It came back to this support area, now turned into resistance, okay? So we have resistance. So overall, I'm looking at this as a down day because now support, we broke the support. Now most likely that support is going to be resistance. So remember, trade the 5-minute chart. Now I have the direction that I'm looking at right now, which is the downside. And also I'm looking at my setup now since the market is at this key level right here. And overall, I'm not looking to get in right away. Sometimes, or a lot of times, I don't get in right away. Notice how we had a reaction right here. Yes, you could have got a nice little scalp to the downside right here, but it came back again, okay? Came back again, gave me a nice rejection right here, and that's the trade that I took right here. So I went for a nice little short right here, and this is quick. Nice little pop to the downside, quick, got out. Yeah, if you look at the P&L, I'm up $5,662, okay? So that was that day, real quick. Wasn't trying to hold that long, and that was it, okay? So let me go to the next trade. All right, so this day right here, I didn't trade at all. The market was just going straight up. Again, remember what I said before. Your system should have days where you can sit out, okay? You don't have to trade every single day, okay? So let me show you guys the next day. Okay, so this day, guys, I'm looking at this market, right? And I'm looking for sells. Now, let me go to the 1 hour to show you guys why I like focusing on the 5-minute chart, okay? So the 1 hour chart, right? Look at the 1 hour chart. Right? Actually, let's go to the daily first. So let's look at the daily chart. Now look at the daily chart. Overall, the market is bullish, right? So automatically in your head, you would say, I'm only looking for longs, right? That's what they would teach you that, right? Now let's go to the 1 hour chart. Same thing, guys. 1 hour chart, very bullish, okay? Again, they will tell you, this is this day right here. They will tell you, top down analysis, the 1 hour is very bullish, look for longs. And again, nothing wrong with that, okay? But this is why I like to focus a lot on the 5-minute chart, because the 5-minute chart didn't show me a bullish setup. It showed me a bearish setup. So let me show you guys real quick. So this is the 5-minute chart that day, okay? So what do I see? Well, I'm showing you right now. I see that the market had nice support right here, guys. Nice. Look at this support right here, okay? Holding this support right here. Holding this support right here. Holding this support right here, okay? Holding it. It's holding it. Holding this support right here, guys. You see that? It's holding that support. And guess what? What it did? It broke that support. So automatically, I'm looking at this as a bearish day, even though daily chart is bullish, 1 hour is bullish. This is why I tell you guys that I like looking at the 5-minute chart, because it could tell you the direction, especially if you're day trading for the most part. It could tell you pretty much everything. So overall, the way I was looking at this market was, okay, we have resistance right here, okay? We have resistance right here. Now, it was really choppy right here. Really choppy right here, okay? This is where the market opened. It did a nice little fake breakdown to the downside and then shot right back up. So automatically, I'm looking at this area like, okay, I want it to come there. Honestly, if it didn't go there, I wasn't going to trade at all. So it went here, okay? And guess what? Boom. It gave me that nice rejection right here, okay? That's all I need. That's all I needed. And then I took that trade right there to the downside for a quick scalp. And if you look at the P&L, I'm up $4,434, okay? So that is that day. And that's pretty much the simple strategy that we just built from scratch. Okay. Again, you keep it simple as possible in the beginning, and you can always adjust it. You can always add things to it. You can add more trades if you want to. You can add more markets if you want to. You can, trade Forex or futures or the stock market, whatever the case is. But in the beginning, keep it as simple as possible. Make sure you are strict with your rules. Make sure that everything is simple, so when you do see a trade, you don't have to hesitate, right? And also make sure you write in your journal, track your losers, take screenshots, and go from there. So this is what I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you watch this more than once, guys. Make sure you watch this more than once, because it's definitely going to help you in your trading career, okay? If you want to learn more, check what I have below. If you have any questions, comment below, because I try to answer all your guys' questions. Thanks a lot for your time, and please have a great day.